Okay, going to go through a change of the belts on a Sony 5 CD changer. This particular model is a CDP CE245. First job is to undo there's two screws either side of the actual unit, and there's two screws down the back of the unit. We'll take those off and go from there. Just a side note that when you're removing the top cover, you just grip each side of the actual cover and you pull the bottom corner out on both sides, and then once it gets past the lip on the bottom, then just gently pull up, because you've got to get past these little keepers that are here, which only allow the cover to come upwards. It can't go back, it has to come up. Okay, once the cover's off, next part is to release this portion here, which is gently prising upwards to pull this ribbon cable out, and also disconnecting the two power sockets, and then just by clipping the clip and pulling backwards. Once that's done, that means the front section, the control section, is free of everything. We want to then undo the feet and the center screw. When I say feet and the center screw, that's the front feet, little screw there, and one in the center. Then we'll go to the next step. Now the front panel has a couple of locating tabs each side. This it's got a bit of metal here which stops this coming backwards. This has to be pulled out gently past the piece, and then on both sides you just shimmy out the front panel, which the legs come with it. That's where the screw was before you undid. Okay, once the front cover is removed, the next bit is to get the carousel off, and that's just by this, take this screw, and then we'll just lift this carousel plate off. Okay, next part is to, down in here, there's actually 4 screws that hold this whole tray down, and 4 screws in the back which keep it all there. So there's one in here. On the other side you can see there's one here, one down in there which is accessible through this hole here. And then down in the midpoint here, right down there, is another one. Now make sure your screwdriver is magnetised so the screws don't fall off. And then when you're around the back, there's 4 screws that are 1, 2, and 3, 4. So 4 screws that hold the back plastic. Once that's off, grip the unit by here and the front tray. As you lift upwards, it'll release out of the little sockets in here. And then once that's done, the unit will actually lift up. I'll just 2 hands and tilt it up. Okay, I need 2 hands to lift it up, and then once it's there, then you can see the lower belt. So I'm just going to put a block in here to hold it up and operate on this, and actually pull the belt off and replace the belt, and then I'll start reassembly. In the reassembly process, I'll replace this top belt, put it all back together again. Right, just a tip, to lift up this entire carousel area with this actual wire harness, it has a little plastic clip, and the bottom of the clip is just running through a hole in the frame, which you've got to take the leg off this back corner, 1 screw. When that comes off, you'll see the bottom of this clip, pinch it with a pair of pliers, and that'll lift it up. That allows the whole thing to easier to lift up. And just put it back when you put them out together, of course. Now, just on the reinstallation, I noted there was an actual burn mark on this actual, which has been sitting close up to a transistor or power transistor on the back of the frame. I've just rerouted it, so it's actually a bit of wire pulled up here. That should keep that off that unit and stop any sort of burning and future damage. That's all.